British darts organisation was the most famous and influential darts organisation in the world from its foundation until the boom in the PDC. Their World Masters tournament was their second biggest event and the oldest established major darts tournament in the world. However, a chaotic day at the early rounds of its 2019 edition was likely the final nail in the BDO's coffin. The tournament was in trouble before it even began, after several of the organisation's top stars threatened to boycott it due to a rule change. This change saw all the players now having to start out from the open floor stages, as opposed to the top 16 men having previously been seeded automatically into the live TV finals. In addition, all the players in the men's and ladies' World Masters qualifiers were also now required to pay £20 in entry fees. A petition against the removal of seedings and complex scheduling was signed by a number of top players during the Swedish Open. The complex scheduling saw the tournament begin at Gray's Civic Hall before going over to the Circus Tavern, instead of being like before in venues where it was all done at once, including the World Championship qualifiers. The big names that did eventually decide to boycott the event included two-time Lakeside semi-finalist Mikael Unterbuchner, World Trophy quarter-finalist Daniel Day, BDO World No. 6 Martin Kleermaker, and BDO No. 15 Gary Robson. Daryl Fitton, the 2007 World Masters runner-up, 2004 and 2012 finalist Tony O'Shea, 2011 semi-finalist Ross Montgomery, Chris Landman and Dirk Telnikes were also among the other notable absentees. Before the event, a draw was conducted and posted online. However, this caused much confusion as several of the players included in the draw were not attending the event, as well as players who had entered being left off and a couple of players duplicated in the youth draw. There was further confusion as the draw stated that the first 3 rounds in the men's draw were the best of 7 legs, which was another change to previous editions. Des Jacklin issued an apology for the format confusion and confirmed it was sets instead. He also stated that all of the players in the event would receive free tickets for the latter stages at the Circus Tavern for the whole weekend. Jacklin also originally said that players who were drawn against those who had not turned up would get buys.
There are still over and above people that have not turned up today. This means that the person that has turned up will get a bye in the first round and will not play until the second round. You will not know you get the bye until you go to the registration desk.
He also asked for volunteer markers, which is farcical at a major with the history of the World Masters.
For the first round, we need volunteer markers. Please, if you see an empty board and you know that you are not playing for a while, please get up and mark it. If you don't, it means that the day is going to run on even longer. If you see a spare board, please get up and mark it.
Problems with the draw came about as many international players were unaware of the new entry system which was used for the event, and so several national bodies had not properly registered their players, and the BDO had not received the £20 entry fee for every player, some of whom had travelled to the event on flights up to 10 hours in length. Therefore, the BDO wanted to switch the players who were at the venue but not registered with those in the draw who were not at the event. This sounded like a good idea on paper, but in reality, the non-registered players did not equal the non-arrivals. In addition, the BDO had placed non-existent players in the draw, apparently so they could be replaced with real players if too many turned up. It was not clear what would have happened if someone had to play a game against a fake name. According to reports, the number of fake names in the original draw was up to 10. It was then announced that a redraw was going to take place.
Put into the draw is going to be redrawn. We will have to start in 1 hour from now, and you will not have assignment cards. It will be done on the microphone. The draw will be ready and up in about 30 minutes. and you'll be called to the registration desk when your game is on. This is the only way for everybody in the room to be able to play in the competition that they have qualified for.
Some of the players were also angry at the size of the compact venue, which had very few practice boards and only 32 boards in total for over 200 players. Andy Hamilton, who was one of the seeds in the event, released a statement saying that him and the rest of the seeds were told of the redraw in a meeting shortly before it was announced to the rest of the players, which he called unfair. Information on the prize money for the event was also withheld from the seeds, some of whom asked for it. The prize money had not been announced on the morning of the event, although it stayed at the same level as the previous season. A competitor was told that they would only be told the prize money if they got through to the TV stages. Ahead of the event, the BDO also attempted to get Danny Baggish and Benjamin Pratnamer, who had both qualified for the PDC World Championship, to sign a contract that meant if they qualified for the BDO World Masters or World Championship main draw, they would not be allowed to appear in the PDC World Championship. If players went on to appear in the PDC event, their prize money from the World Masters would not be paid, or if it had been paid, would be owed back to the BDO. Baggish and Pratnamer both did not sign this contract and went on to appear at Ali Pali. Another issue occurred when Northern Irish player Brian Cathcart was named on the draw sheet at the end of the day, apparently coming through 3 rounds to book his spot in the last 32. However, Cathcart had never been at the venue, and this was simply an error on the sheet. Once the tournament actually got running, it went fairly smoothly, with 32 players qualifying for the televised stages. However, the damage had already been done, and as a result of a breach of rules and the draw changes, the World Darts Federation said they no longer recognised BDO operated tournaments with immediate effect. As a result, the BDO was downgraded to associate member status, meaning that it was no longer the governing body for darts in the country. The event, and issues with the prize money at the 2020 World Championship, meant that the organisation went bankrupt and was eventually officially scrapped. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel, and we're very close to the brilliant milestone of 10,000 subscribers.